My name is Adwale Victoria, a student of one of the most prestigious university in Nigeria, University of Ilorin, Vital by far. With me is my partner,
Ajayi Dabola, a student of Performing Arts, University of Ilorin.
Thank you so much. With us here we have a wonderful man, a mentor, a lecturer, a father. In fact, the man is a total package. He's one in all. So over to you, sir. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Okay, my name is Mr. Taiwo Olalusi. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Performing and Film Arts. I graduated from this university too, back in 2005, and I am lecturing in the same department where I graduated.
That's nice. That's amazing. So please, sir, we have few questions for you, sir.
All right.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, we learned that you're in charge of sound, instrument and sound. So please, sir, can you describe your experience with different types of sound, equipment and instrumentation?
Okay, well, let me first say that the skill is not just instrumentation and sound. Yes, it was instrumentation and sound last year, but for one reason or the other, the director, merged two skills together this year. So it is instrumentation, sound, and acting for stage and screen. So there are two different, areas. There are two independent skills actually, but for one reason or the other, the director felt, there was no space to accommodate each of us individually and merge us together. So I'm in charge of instrumentation and sound, and one of my other colleagues is in charge of acting for stage and screen. Well, when it comes to instruments, well, there are several instruments. That's why, when I spoke with the former director about the difficulty and challenges that I had, he understood with me. Because when we talk about instruments, we're talking about as much as 50, 60 instruments, right? But because of the limitation of hands and because of the number of weeks that we have, for this particular course, I decided to streamline the instruments into 6 different instruments. Okay, the keyboard, the lead guitar, the drum set, the talking drum, the saxophone and trumpet, which I consider the 6 basic instruments, like that. Later on, I had lots of students coming for violin, and if I will put violin, I have to remove one because I'm the only one. I have to source for other trainers, other people who can help me train. I have in charge of keyboard, but I have to source for other people who will help me train. That means under me, I have about 5 other trainers. Wow. You understand? So. And instrumentation is not something that you can just learn like that. It's not like soap making, with all due respect, and all due respect to soap making. It's not like soap making and one person can just give instruction. There are different instruments with their different playing, their different, level of instruction. The way you play the guitar is not the way you play the saxophone. It's not the way you play trumpet, guitar, drum set, piano. You understand? So, if it was possible that somebody could, have taught everything, it would have even been more stressful. So these are the 6 instruments, that I'm taking, that I'm in charge of, so to speak. Then the sound aspect is just basically how to get sound out of musical instruments. And also the sound system, the speaker, how to connect the mixer console with the amplifier, with the speakers to produce sound. So that's basically what my half of the skill does.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
So, sir, can you please explain any challenge you have faced on, like any project you have worked on in the past that has to do with instrumentation?
One of the challenges that I'm facing, is because, just like I said, 6 instruments, 1 instructor, right? I had to, get other instructors who would, and it is cost effective It's cost effective. Out of the budget they give me, I have to, Then another challenge is that, because of the number of students we are training, we need more than one of these instruments. So I also have to rent, because buying some of these instruments is expensive. I think the cheapest among the instruments is the talking drum, which is about 40,000 on its own per one. You can imagine now wanting to buy a piano keyboard. That's close to ₦1 million. So I have to rent, about 2-3 instruments per instrument, and also pay those who will, help me change it. So it's a challenge, and it's even more challenging this year that 2 skills have been merged into one, and I'm using this medium to plead with the director that from next year, instrumentation and sound should stand on its own. Acting for stage and screen should stand on its own. They are 2 different skills which should not be merged. So that difficulty, that challenge is there. And funny enough, we have students who want to do more in instrumentation than acting for stage and screen. So the problem, the challenge that we have this year is that those who want to be under instruments are made to choose a skill where it is both instrumentation, sound, and acting for stage and screen. So by the time we said, okay, 75 must be for instrumentation, 75 must be for acting, we find a lot of people saying, I don't want to be in acting, I want to be instrumentation. So as we speak, instrumentation has more students than acting for stage and screen under the same umbrella. But if it was a separate skill on its own, we know that, okay, I want to choose instruments, I want to choose acting for stage and screen. So that's another challenge. In fact, up to yesterday, I still find somebody calling me and say, sir, I can't cope with acting again. I want to come to instrumentation. I said, well, my hands are tied. My arm of the skill is filled up. You have to maintain, acting for stage and screen. So you understand? So some of the students actually want instrumentation really. But because the skill is 2 in 1, there is a limit to how many students I can take under instrumentation. So if you are coming late, you have to go for acting, whether you like it or not. So these are one of the challenges that I'm facing as a instrumentation trainer. Thank you.
Alright, so how many instruments of all these instruments that you mentioned, how many can you play?
Well, teaching has taken a lot of practice away from me. Before I got this job, naturally I played the piano, right? But before I got the job, I was playing saxophone a little bit, I was playing guitar. Drums, that one is natural. It's more of a talent, But because I had to teach more, and music is something that you have to do in practice. If you don't rehearse, it goes off. So these days I can only say I play drums, any kind of drum at all. Any kind of drum in the world, I play then keyboard. Though I've been telling my saxophone instructor, the one who's helping me teach others, I will find time to be coming so that I can pick up the saxophone again later. And just like I tell the students, one of the best ways to learn an instrument is to have it. You want to learn the saxophone, have it. So that when your teacher teaches you, you go home and you keep practicing. You keep practicing. Once you practice every now and then, you'll be a master at it. But if you learn on Monday, you go home and you wait for another Monday, no. That's not a good way to learn. You will be slow in learning. So for now, I play any kind of drums and the piano.
There's a saying that says, practice makes perfect.
Yes, that's
so
right.
It does not have to do with instrument, anything in general.
Yes, you're right.
As a teacher, if you stop teaching for a very long time,
Of course.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, another question for you. All these instruments, we have the modern instruments, the Western instruments, we have a lot of instruments.
Yes.
How do you stay updated with the latest trends and technologies in sound production?
Well, nowadays, social media, internet, is helping. Unlike the days when we were in school, where there were no phones, there were nothing, you have to go to the library to read it. So the presence of the social media and internet, is helping a lot. Sometimes I listen to music online and I'm like, this is a new trend, this is a new, so I find a way of, incorporating some of these new trends. The social media generally is helping, and the internet. There is nothing that you want to learn or you want to find out about or you want to research about that is not on the internet. So when I see new things like that, I try as much as possible to incorporate the ones that I like, the ones that are good, and see away the ones that are bad. So that's just it, basically.
So it is right to say that technology has made life easier.
Oh, definitely. It has made life easy. It's both ways actually, because some people are taking unnecessary advantage of technology. Let me give you an instance. Back in the days, normal piano comes without what we call transposition. Right? Now, what it means is that if you want to learn how to play the piano, you must learn how to play on all the keys.
That's C major,
C, D, E, everything. Right? But technological advancement, brought about, an aspect of the piano where you can transpose. Right? So now, most instrumentalists, most keyboardists especially, are lazy to learn on all the keys. In fact, I've seen, a keyboardist who plays on just F, just one key.
F major.
Yes. But if you sing on B, you press transpose, pa, 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 pa. So if you play what you are singing on that same F by pressing that transposed key. Do you understand? So, incidentally, everybody thinks it's good because whichever key you sing on, you have transposed it to that F where it's suitable for him. So he plays. So I used to tell instrumentalists that the best way to be a keyboardist, the proper keyboardist, is to learn the process of all the keys. Because we still have keyboards, we still have grand pianos where you don't have transpose.
Yes.
So if you are taken to a grand piano and you are asked to play and somebody sings on G or on C, whereas the only key you can play is F, you'll be stuck. Right? So I usually advise instrumentalists, keyboardists, as much as possible, try and learn all even if it's not all the keys, the major ones, try and learn how to play, so that when you go for an interview and they ask you to play a grand piano, or maybe B flat or C or D, you will not be like, I play on just F. It will sound very stupid for you to say you are an instrumentalist, you are a keyboardist, and you play on just one key, whereas there are 12, right? So play on at least 8 of those keys, or 9. Then you can say you are an instrumentalist, you are a keyboardist.
The piano is divided into how many segments? Because there was a time I learned, and a lot of people too who also learned how to play keyboard one time or the other. You will hear we have tone, semitone.
Well, one thing about the piano is that the piano is the mother of all instruments. Everything we learn about theory is represented on the piano. And another point I will also make for instrumentalists is that as much as you learn the practice, also learn the theory. Because it is the theory that brings about the practice. Now, the keyboard is just, I wish I had a keyboard here, it's not here. It's just, sometimes we have 5 octaves, 6 octaves, 7 octaves. We have just 7 alphabets. A, B, C, D, E, F. Right? And each of these 7 alphabets we occur in what we call octaves. And the octaves means the depth. We have the high pitches, we have the low pitch, right? And the reason why for the octave is so that you can manipulate, by playing different pitches and different, so the piano, the tone semicolon we are talking about is talking about the notes and the scales. Tone, semitone, semitone. That is the major scale, right? We also have the minor scale. So all these things that I was talking about is embedded in the theory. If you must learn how to play the piano well, learn the theory as you are learning the practice. Because, for instance, now, I met with a very fantastic keyboardist, very good. He could play on most of the keys. And I gave him, I said, give me the augmented chord of B flat minor. He couldn't play anything. He could play it, but he does not know the technical term, the theoretical term. Do you get me?
Yes, sir.
He does not know the theoretical term. Augmented chord on B flat minor. He could play it. In fact, he had played it already earlier. And I told you, I said, Oga, you will have to go away. And I told him, I said, that is why it is good for you to know the theory and the practice. You have played what I asked you to play earlier. But because you don't know the theoretical term, you felt it was a big deal, it was, ambiguous. So that's just it about the piano. So the theory is embedded in the practice. As you learn the practice, know the theory too, so that you don't be messed up by, people outside who know the theory and practice together.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, sir, how do you manage classroom dynamics, especially when working with groups that have varying levels of experience, like some people that are more experienced than the others? So how do you?
Yes. Now, for instance, let me use this parent GSC classes that we are doing. This last Monday, I mentioned that I started, from the very ground zero. There are students who pick skills based on the fact that they know about the skill and they want to earn their marks. There's no problem about that, actually. Right? So I find some of them who are already playing the piano before. I look away and I start from the very scratch, to carry along those who are just beginning. How did we start? Most of these songs I will sing, in fact, there's no song that you will sing that cannot be played on the piano. I gave them a historical background of how I started, transferring lyrics into notes. That's the first thing we have started with now. Transferring lyrics into notes. There's no song that you sing that does not have the tonic solfa. That's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So I taught them how to transfer lyrics into notes, and I gave them the tonic solfa of simple choruses, and I made sure that a significant number of them came to play. How did I do it? I took marker and I wrote the tonic solfa on each of the notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And one of the songs we experimented with on Monday was Jehovah, you are the most high. Jehovah, you are the most high God. Do, la, 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 do. So it is written in their notes, and the inscription of the notes are on the piano. So don't look at your notes. Do, la, 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 do. Do, ti, 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 re, do. And I made sure I sang along. Some of them were slow. I made sure that, okay, yes, we can be slow to get it. And one of the other things I told them that this tonic solfa I'm giving you, try and put it in your head. So that by next Monday when I ask you to play, you don't have to look at. Because looking at the book and playing, there are two different things that can, say understand. But once you have it in your head, you can play it faster than when you look at the book. So that is the process with which I'm taking them. Now, those who already know how to play, by virtue of what I saw them play, I already gave them an assignment that they should go and prepare for against the final exam, which is something that they will do. And I made sure that those who did not know it enough are also linking up with them to get much more knowledge. So that's basically what I try to do by making sure that all of them start together, no matter the level of your knowledge. Let's start from the very beginning. And in fact, there was a student from, I think, chemistry. The first day, she played it so fast, I was like, well, you played the college? I said, no. But now, because I gave her the notes, I wrote the notes on this thing. It was easy for her to, so that's just it.
That's right, sir. Before you do anything, the elderly ones will say there must be something that drives you. There must be something that motivates you. There must be something that inspired you. So, sir, please, could you tell us what inspired you to pursue a career in sound production and what keeps you passionate about it?
This is a long story. I hope this interview can cover it. Actually, back in the days, I got 182 in JAMB, and I applied for mass comm and sociology in this same university. Mass comm had not started then, and sociology will not accept less than 200 as far back as 2001. So I was stuck. Whereas my twin brother, chose performing arts, and he was given admission. And I already had experiences where twins, one of them would get an admission, the other would be at home. I didn't want it. I didn't like the fact that my brother would be ahead of me, right? So I just told them, and back then, admission was not so difficult now. You could make calls from your house. I just told them that same course you gave my brother, please dash me too. Right? So they gave us, and we came into performing arts, and there's this thing I call a induction ceremony, which is very stressful and tedious. It's a process of integrating you into the arts of the theater, and naturally, whatever you are not used to, becomes difficult and stressful. So it was stressful and quite difficult for me, and I was just not, figuring it out. And I had the mind that I was not going to take the course serious. As God will have it, drumming has become a talent for I and my twin brother from when we were small too. As God will have it, our directors noticed that we could drum, so we were drummers. And as drummers, you can't miss rehearsals. I said, my plan not spoil you. I didn't want to be serious with this, About a few days later, one of our lecturers just came to class and said, you are the class chef. That's me. Wow. Hey! Class chef! I said, we're not going to be serious with this course, And along the line, I just heard a sound from a music studio. And I went there, I saw one of our foreign students playing the piano so well. I was fascinated, I was looking at him. And he said, how am I doing like that? Have I not seen somebody play the piano before? I said, not this close. And I said, do I want to learn? I said, yes. So he gave me the chord progression of the song. And he said I should sit down. He said I should put my hand like this, put my hand like this, like this, like this. I said I should just be playing what he said I should play. And he was singing. That single chord progression, he sang about 10 songs. And I said, okay, let me leave you with this. Tomorrow, come again, I'll see how far you have come. When he left, I talked about it. I said, first hands on the piano, and I can play to 10 songs, I will die here. So that alone was a motivation. I made sure that every day I was at that studio playing the same thing that he taught me. I was just enjoying myself. Students would come and say, what is this one doing? I was just enjoying myself, And as time went on, I became very interested in music. I was developing and playing, and whatever they teach me about music enters and stays. So that alone was a change of, destiny, so to speak. Change of destiny for me, so that's how, I started. And by the time I was going to major in 3 level, I majored in music as a class rep. I was taking tutorials, I was teaching all my, colleagues, I graduated with a 2-1, and went for service, was jobless for 5 years, came back with masters, and we were employed as lecturers here. And as
I guess I applaud you for that.
Thank you, thank you.
That's amazing. So,
Thank you, thank you.
so can you just give a word of advice to someone that wants to pursue the same career in instrumentation?
Well, my advice is, it may be slow, but just be steady about it. Be slow, be steady about it, and keep the focus, keep the passion. You cannot be an instrumentalist if you don't have the passion. That's the truth, because the difficulty and the challenges in it will not allow you to stay if you don't have the passion. And if you want to learn an instrument, just like I said earlier, have that instrument so that it can help you. You wake up, you pick it up, you play, you finish it, you pick it up, you play, at night before you sleep, you play. You become a master at it in no time. Just follow the process and let your passion drive you. That's all.
So that means it is right to say slow and steady wins the race.
Yes.
So
yes.
be patient.
Yes.
When you are patient, you will. Okay, sir, can you share a success story? In your journey so far, you've been teaching this particular skill for a very long time now. For how many years, sir?
Well, I don't know for how long GSC has started, but I was one of the pioneer trainers of GSC.
Oh, that's nice.
That should be about 6, 7 years, if I'm correct.
Oh, that's nice. So, sir, can you share a success story? Some people, when they hear the testimonies of others, when they hear other people's success story, they'll be motivated to do more. A lot of people out there, they know how to do it, but they don't have that boldness to go out. So if they hear your success story, I'm sure our viewers here will love to hear your success story.
Well, that's right. Well, one thing about learning, especially when it comes to music, is results. Once you get to a stage where you can produce results, then it's already a success story. I have not so many. I have few of my students, who are now, musicologists in Nigeria and even abroad. Yes, who are musicologists in Nigeria and abroad, by virtue of the fact that they came to performing arts, to learn music, and they did GSC. No doubt, some of them, had started before, but the intensity with which they learned here in performing arts and GSC, gave them that, focus, that further focus to say, okay, let me pursue. Some of them are music directors of churches, well, in Nigeria and abroad, and they are doing well, they are earning in dollars, and some of them are here in Nigeria, they train online, they train students online, and they earn in dollars, so music is, something that quite a lot of parents feel is not one of the professions that you can, but apart from sports, music and entertainment is a gold mine, another gold mine. Music and entertainment. You can see the rest of Wizkid and Davido. They are not even trained musicians. They are not trained musicians. Not just the talent, and the exposure, right? So, if you as a trained musician can, have, that tenacity and say, okay, I want to go into the music industry, though Nigeria is about, connections, like that, So, it is something that naturally, even if you are not trained, naturally, anybody, once you have the God-given talent, you can pursue a career in music. There are different aspects. Once, if you are singing, you are a musician, right? So it is something that is very lucrative. If you can identify that aspect of music that can bring about success for you, whether in singing or in playing instruments. One of our students who graduated from this department, in fact, the first class that we made, in the performance department is already making his money out there in music production, producing soundtracks for home videos, both in Nigeria and outside, collecting thousands of naira like that. So it's about you and what you want to do. And that's why I said passion. Passion is very important when it comes to music. Passion is very important. It is still the passion that is keeping me here. Passion for teaching. That is keeping me here. Right? And it is the passion that brought me here from Port Harcourt. In 2011, when I was earning 180,000. Right? If I tell you that my salary right now is just a few thousand above 180,000, you won't believe me. Whereas if I stayed back in Port Harcourt, I may have been earning millions. But I know that my passion, the passion is there. And by God's grace, Nigeria will be better, and the federal government will, look into the plight of lecturers and pay us what we really deserve. So passion is very important.
It's just so unfortunate that you don't have the keyboard yet.
I was too.
No instrument yet. You can use the Wow. Oh, I don't know how to say. Music student. If we did, you won't live here.
Well, I wish the problem was here. I would have played a bit and played something and sing. It's alright.
So please, you can hear from our lecturer. He has said a lot. So please allow your children.
Yes, allow them.
The passion.
You might just be at the right place at the right time with the right people. So just go for your dreams, follow your dreams.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have learned a lot from this video, and we certainly have learned a lot too. So make sure you like, subscribe, and comment right under this video. Till next time, bye.